No other game series set around the many universes of the multi-million-dollar anime franchise known as Mobile Suit Gundam have better captured fans' fascination with pitting their favorite Gundam pilots against each other than the Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme Versus series. Now, with its latest update, Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme Versus Maxiboost on, we get to see more thrilling versus battles which include some of the newer faces in the Gundam franchise, as well as a few who some fans may have been waiting for in the previous versions. This is Mobile Suit Gundam vs. Maxiboost on Character Highlight. Welcome back to New Technology Today, let's get into it. In this video, we'll take a look at 10 new characters introduced to the game with their respective mobile suits from all over the meta series, and one bonus character that English translation players may have been waiting to see as a playable character in the game. But before that, if you want to learn more about all things Gundam, stay updated and informed with the hottest and latest tech, and have the world's most fascinating and most brilliant innovations brought straight to your screens, subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell to keep yourself in the know and up to date. First off, we have Gyunei Guss, the secondary antagonist and right-hand man of Char-Aznable, the famed Red Comet and leader of Neo Zeon in 1988's Mobile Suit Gundam Char's counterattack theatrical film. Gyunei Guss was introduced to the Gundam fans in that film as a confidant, fanatical and capable dragon by Char's side, executing orders for and sometimes enemies for Char's new type vision of humanity's future. Adding him into the latest Extreme Versus update lets fans dish out all his cyber new type capabilities in his iconic mobile suit, the hawk-faced MSN-03 Jagdogga. Play as the ultimate yes man with beam saber in hand and funnels at the ready. You can expect Gyunei Guss to have your back in multiplayer or let you dish out punishing combos firsthand. Up next, we have Dearka Elsman. From the 2000s Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, the level-headed foil to his temperamental comrade, Zaku, Dearka makes his debut in his Extreme Versus game in his iconic GATX-103 Buster Gundam. He is part of the 4-pilot crew who originally hijacked the prototype Gundams from the Earth Alliance, and one of the most well-remembered side characters from Seed, mostly for not getting his Gundam's limbs blasted off as much as Zaku's, eventually having more important parts in the Seed destiny, all without the ridiculous amount of plot armor this series is known for giving out to its leads. The smug ace of the LaCroix team will keep your opponents at bay with his multiple ranged weaponry, as well as bust out some special moves which can only be described as firepower with flair. Next is Captain Ash, also known as Asimu Asuno, the second-generation protagonist of Mobile Suit Gundam Age, who joins this update as his older self, the leader of the space pirate crew, Basidian, piloting their flagship mobile suit, the Age 2DH Gundam Age 2 Darkhound. Captain Ash, having been missing in action at the start of Age's third-generation storyline, probably due to his underlying daddy issues, makes an amazing return towards the end of the series, joining up with both his father and son in bringing an epic conclusion to the Asuno family's war with the Vegan army, all while not resolving his aforementioned daddy issues. Captain Ash scrambles into Extreme Versus with his super pilot skills and a combination of melee and transformable high-speed attacks that's sure to keep any player on their toes. Moving on from Age, the next character highlight comes from the 2013 hit Gundam Build Fighter series, with 2 characters counting as one pilot unit, Sei Iori and Reiji. The duo enters the world of Extreme Versus in their GATX-105B FP Build Strike Gundam, which was in the series a testament to the star Gunpla builder Sei's expertise in creating a Gundam that's ready for any battlefield, together with a prince from another world and hot-blooded fighter Reiji taking the reins as his ace pilot. Together in the Build Strike Gundam full package, the pair serves up a well-balanced offense with both ranged and melee capability. And hot on their heels is another Build Divers character who is a PS4 exclusive, Tetsuya Yuki, aka Meijin Kawaguchi III. Known in the series as a passionate and innovative builder, his tendency to get swept up in the heat of battle, way too many times if I might add, under his Meijin Kawaguchi persona arguably makes him the strongest player in the Gundam Build Fighters meta-series, using both the MS-06RAB Zaku Amazing and the BN-876-2H Hot Scramble Gundam in Extreme Versus. While the Zaku Amazing is decked out in all sorts of ranged weaponry and tough armor, making it effective at any range, the Hot Scramble Gundam is a true force to be reckoned with, thanks to the sheer power of its fin funnel and beam weaponry combo. Get a friend to play Spanish guitar while you play as this guy, and it might up your chances of breaking in an epic round. 2014's Reconquista in G series, meanwhile, brings in Gundam creator Yoshiyuki Tomino's latest idealistic, if not absent-minded, mecha series protagonist, Bellri Zenam, into the game with his YG-111 Gundam G-Self and G-Self Perfect pack. The offbeat hero of the Gundam franchise's 35th anniversary series, Bellri is noted as having a sort of an idealistic personality built into him that stands in stark contrast to the very first series protagonist, Amuro Ray. And in Extreme Versus, this shines whenever players step into battle using the G-Self Perfect pack. While the standard Gundam G-Self is a well-balanced machine comparable to both the RX-78-2 and the Strike Gundam, the Perfect Pack features an impressive amount of power that's almost always fun to play with. His fighting bursts feature fast-paced, almost circus-like acrobatics that captures the excitement and underlying silliness of the combat scenes from the show. 2015's Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans is not far behind, with Mikazuki Augus leading the pack in his ASWG-08 Gundam Barbados Lupus, and PS4 exclusive Barbados Lupus Rex. Unlike most popular Gundam protagonists, Mikazuki Augus was battle-hardened from the very beginning, being a war orphan turned child soldier who carried on in the series with a cast of more colorful and emotionally engaging characters while having the personality traits of a 2x4 plank of wood. And while Gundam IBO ended on an atypical note than most other Gundam shows of recent date, its popularity only skyrocketed at its conclusion. Bringing that grit and edginess to the game, Mikazuki bursts into the scene with all three iterations of his Gundam Barbatos in its heavy metal close combat glory, and while severely lacking in a complement of ranged weaponry, its armor and high damage melee attacks are more than enough to make it stand toe-to-toe against the toughest beam-spamming, plot armor-wearing opponents. Bringing us back to the Universal Century timeline, or an alternate version of it as some would have you imagine, 2015's breakout online net animation series Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt brings its stark and very embittered main leads into the fray, Io Fleming and Daryl Lawrence. A series known for being a darker and honestly way more depressing take on the Universal Century setting, right down to its industrial and weathered aesthetics on their mobile suit designs. Thunderbolt brings to life two of Gundam's most antagonizing rivals. Io Fleming is a fatalistic, cynical, and jaded Federation pilot whose only meaning left in life is the height of the battlefield and the fast beats of improvised jazz music, while Daryl Lawrence is a paraplegic Newtype pilot for the Principality of Zeon who is initially out for revenge against Io for killing his comrades but eventually becomes a melodramatic out to protect those he holds close, all to the sounds of soothing romantic ballads. These two characters represent an inverted view on the hero-villain dynamic of the usual Gundam series, by presenting both characters occupying a sort of grey mortality not unlike what's within an actual armed conflict. Their iconic mobile suits, the FA-78 Full Armor Gundam and the MS-06R Zaku 2 High Mobility Type Psycho Zaku, debut in the Extreme Versus series in all their heavily armored presence, having near similar performance and endurance. Io, however, holds a distinction of having two units to his name, with the other being the more agile, aquatic-based RX-78 AL Atlas Gundam. Whichever one you choose to main, make sure to play the appropriate music for maximum ambiance. Lastly, we're taking a look at a side character from the Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme vs. Full Boost, Tetsuya Awar, romantic love interest of the Extreme vs. series main protagonist Leos Alloy. Tetsuya was originally a support character for Leos in the initial games, but for the first time ever she becomes a playable character in the Maxiboost On, with her own custom mobile suit, the Extreme Gundam type Tetsuya Excelia. A Gundam that almost certainly looks like your typical magical girl protagonist. The Tetsuya Excelia also performs attacks like one as well, relying on very colorful ranged attacks and sparkly shooting burst attacks that almost look like it's casting spells on its opponents. And true to Tetsuya herself, the Tetsuya Excelia also has a complement of defensive armaments that it can use to support others in team battles. embarrass your friends by having the crap kicked out of them while using a bright pink magic robot. And that wraps up our Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme vs. Maxiboost on Character Highlights. Hopefully we brought you up to speed with the most interesting new additions to the game and maybe even talked about your favorites. But that's not all there is to the game itself. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know your thoughts by commenting them in the comment section below. I'll be responding to all of you who comment within the first hour of me posting this video. If you enjoyed this video, you should definitely check out my next video called Metal Build Crossbone Gundam X1 Review. Pirates in space in giant robots. That's definitely a combo that deserves animation, and yet this sequel manga series of Mobile Suit Gundam F91 has made it a full 26 years without ever making it to animation. But its popularity with Gundam fans hasn't waned at all, and as long as this appeal stays strong, who knows, we just might see a Crossbone anime yet. For the meantime, we'll check out Bandai Spirit's latest metal build offering and undoubtedly the best Crossbone Gundam figure made to date. So stay tuned and see you all in the next video. Stay connected, stay up to date.